What's up, everybody? This is Kieran Reese, otherwise known as the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G, and I recently finished Elden Ring, and playing Elden Ring has kind of made me reminisce and think back on the entire series, and I was thinking about the hubs, and which hub was my favorite, so I decided to make a list of my favorite hubs from worst to best in the Soul series. Now, if you like this video, I would really like it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. My channel's doing great views-wise, but I could use more subscribers. You know, anything you can help. With that being said, let's get in this! Okay, unfortunately, in dead last at 7th place is the Dipilated Te in Sekiro. Now, Sekiro, actually, is one of my favorite Souls games. It's high up there in the ranking, which I'm going to make a ranking of those, too. Give me time. But the hub is not that good. It's just Dipilated Te. I mean, it's called the Dipilated Te. But overall, it's really not what you would call groundbreaking. I mean, it's got a nice aesthetic, but it could have been so much more. And instead, they have a couple of other little tiny hubs that are even less memorable, that they would have been better to just slide into Sekiro. And it's a shame, too, because so much of what Sekiro does is so good. But the hub really is kind of disappointing. If they had made just like a simple Senboku temple, you know, like a typical pagoda, is what I'm saying, it would have been amazing. But as it stands, there's not even really much to say here. Sekiro, unfortunately, is dead last. Moving on! In 6th place, we have the Firelink Shri from Dark Souls. Now, this may surprise some people, because I am not a huge fan of Dark Souls 1. I think it's good, but I think it's my least favorite game in the series, and I think it was very flawed. I think Demon Souls was better before it, and Dark Souls 2 was better after it. I know, blasphemy! But I just don't like it as much. And it kind of goes the same with the hub. The aesthetic doesn't really do it for me. It doesn't really catch my attention. Some people come and hang out in the hub, but not that many. And ultimately speaking, it just kind of leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, there is certainly something nostalgic about it, and it could have been good, but ultimately, they started to get the hubs better in this, but it's just not there. I really think it could have been better. The only thing I will say about it is it links into the world excellently. You can see up and up to where you're gonna go and below to where you've been, and I really like that. But other than that, I'm gonna say this kind of ranks low in my esteem. Next, in 5th place, we have the Hunter's Dream from Bloodborne. Now, here's the issue. Aesthetically, I fucking love this hub. In fact, it might even be my favorite hub in the entire series aesthetically. But it's just too damn small. There's only 2 people in it. And ultimately, the fact that it's so small and so limited stops it. And yes, I know Odin Chapel has people that gather in it. But that was a critical mistake. They should have moved Odin Chapel into the hub and had, it come in the Hunter's Dream. So while they have a brilliant aesthetic that looks really good, they don't do anything with it. Like, if they had just put Odin Chapel inside the hub. Like, you go down the garden and you go to Odin Chapel, best hub out of all of them. But as things stand, it's a really amazing aesthetic. I will say, however, that out of all the hubs, I think the hub in Bloodborne might have the best changes. And it goes more sinister to go along with the progression of the story. And that actually is amazing. Also, it kind of delays fast travel because you have to travel to it and then to another place. And that kind of adds an unnecessary warp to every warp in the game. Moving on! Next, we have the newest of these hubs. The Roundtable hold in Elden Ring. Now, my problem with this is that, weirdly enough, it's constrained. See, in every other aspect, Elden Ring is a gigantic leap forward. The world is orders of magnitude larger and bigger. But the hub is much smaller. Not only that, but it's constrained, and there's no outside to it. And worst part about it all is that it's even smaller in the beginning because they actually make it so you have to unlock some areas with keys to progress. And the saddest thing about this is that ultimately, it could have been better. There's some stuff you find out later on in a place you go to that I'll make another video about so I can avoid spoilers that would have made the hub infinitely better. And I'll be interested to talk about that and see what people think. That being said, the aesthetic is okay. I think the aesthetic is good, but it's lacking, and I think that it's just constrained. But that being said, It's still better than the other hubs listed. It still has enough size to it that it's not minuscule like Bloodborne. It does have people gathering in it, and really good ones. So we're getting into the goodish tier now. But yeah. Moving on. Now we're getting to what I call the good tier. With the Nexus at number 3 from Demon's Souls. Going back to where it all started, baby. Number 1! You know, in origin of the series. I love the Nexus, especially in Demon's Souls Remake, where they added more color to it. It was a bit monotone for my taste before. And ultimately, I like it. You know, it has colorful NPCs, more people come there, it has a good aesthetic, and it's your launch point from the world, but ultimately, a couple of things hold it back from true greatness. Namely, the confusing layout to get where you need to go, the heights that will easily kill you, I'm not a huge fan of, and it's just lacking that wow factor. You know, but ultimately, it's still what I would call an amazing hub. And wonderful. And I was just adjusting my belt there. But could be better. Now we're getting into the really good ones. Alright, let's keep it rolling. And in second place, we have Firelink Shri from Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 already ranks highly in the series, in my estimation anyway. But boy, oh boy, do I love Firelink Shri. First of all, you have the singular gray lighting, which honestly you wouldn't think that would be a singular thing, but it goes with the color of ash. You have a layout that is very similar to the Nexus from Demon's Souls, literally on purpose. It's almost the same layout, but without the drops that will kill you, and less confusing. So it's like a similar layout, but improved. Dark Souls 3 has a lot of callbacks to Demon's Souls, actually more than it does to Dark Souls 1. It's kind of interesting. And you have a good aesthetic. You have a tremendous outside area. So it doesn't feel confined. It's packed with memorable places. It has changes throughout the story that are good with music and stuff. And more people join the hub as time goes on. And it's honestly what a Dark Souls hub should be. Also, one thing I really love about it is you can go up on the roof. And going up on the roof, and not only is kind of surprising because you don't know you can do it, but it gives you this singular look at the world around you. You can look over the balcony, and you can see the mountains below you, the tower, the castle above you, and the rest of the shrine. It's a damn fine view. It needs more credit. And I just love the aesthetic, where it's gray, but still very vivid. Alright, let's do it. Going on to number 1. Majula in Dark Souls 2. Now, Dark Souls 2 does not get enough love. Okay, you start out in this grassy void with a cold, blue, eerie light. And it does kind of feel desolate, you know? It's awesome. And you keep moving forward. You go through a cave. It looks narrow, and then you look, and you see the light shining through. And then you step out, and you are greeted with this brilliant, beautiful hub, bathed in sunlight. I already think that Dark Souls 2 is criminally underrated, and deserves a much higher place in the series pantheon. Anyway, just off the bat, I think that it's underrated. But so much about Majula is amazing. The music is soft and quiet, but haunting. The NPCs are amazing, and it really feels like by the end of the game it's become a full town. And whereas the rest of the game of Dark Souls 2 is very bleak and hopeless, Majula feels like by the end that you've created a real town, a safe place where people can live and be happy, and it feels like you have a little bit of hope. And honestly, for a 2014-2015 game on the PS3 and PS4, man, Majula graphically was amazing. It creates a sense of atmosphere. You can look ahead and see places you're going to go, like Hyde's Tower of Flame, Drinklet Castle, the Forest of Fallen Giants. And the water effect that they used, oh my god. Even to this day, that water just looks amazing. Look at it. Like, that is so convincing. That is how you simulate waves. I really want to know what effect they use because it just looks outstanding. But, you know, ultimately, I have to give the nod to Majula. And I think that more people need to play Dark Souls 2 and give it the love and respect that it deserves. It is truly a game worth playing and loving, and I think that it's just outstanding. So, play it! So, with that being said, that is it. That was my ranking of hubs in the Dark Souls series from worst to first. I'd really like to hear what you have to say, if you think I'm full of shit, most people do, or how you would rank them. And, once again, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Thank you for watching. I'm Kieran Reese, the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G, and I am out. Have a great day.